The seventh defense against narcissism is mind eviction. Hi, I'm Dan Cassenti. I'm a cognitive psychologist and a novelist. I'm putting together this series on YouTube to help people understand narcissism so they can arm themselves with knowledge and therefore stay out of or get out of narcissistic relationships. Okay, so mind eviction. It's a good one, right? We have been, if we've gotten involved in a trauma bond, we've let the narcissist into our heads. Okay, and they're sitting there just like controlling our actions even when they're not physically present or on the phone with you, or not even virtually in your presence. We get into trauma bonds that lead us to having the narcissist's actual voice, emulated, of course. You're doing auditory imagery, but it's in our head telling us what to do. The trauma bond, remember, especially if you've been gaslighted a lot in the process, the gaslighting has gotten a hold of you if you've stayed in the trauma bond long enough, and you're no longer thinking for yourself. The voice in your head that's more rational, you've been tamping it down because you've been in the trauma bond. Not your fault. It's the narcissist's fault. Always is the narcissist's fault. Assign responsibility to them. Please don't forget about that. But they've been getting in your head so much that you can even hear their voice when they're not around, telling you what to do, telling you that they wouldn't like it if you did this thing that you used to do that made you happy. They would know, they might have told you it's not okay to work on your novel. It's not okay to, do whatever your hobby was. That's my particular hobby, but that is something that you might hear inside your own head going, I can't do this because they wouldn't like that. Once you've gotten out of a narcissistic relationship, whether it's because they discarded you and you got hurt in the process, or you just flat out walked away from it, which, is the best way to get out of a narcissistic relationship. Well, I shouldn't say that. It might not be the best, but if it's your action that's required, rather than just discarding you and you getting a free pass to get out of the relationship, and that's your best bet. Anyway, once you get out of the relationship, that voice is still going to be in your head. We can't just take it all away. It's still there. You can't just change yourself on a dime. It takes some time. So what I'm suggesting is pretty simple. When the narcissist isn't around, if you're hearing their voice in your head, recognize you're in the trauma bond, recognize that this person does not belong up there, and reject what's being said to you. And just compare it to what you were doing before. If it just doesn't match up to the way you were before the trauma bond, then it doesn't belong in your head. This is somebody else talking to you, not yourself. And they're, it's an amazing thing because narcissists depend on other people so much and are so bad at learning. You wonder, how did they even get smart enough to figure out how to do this to you? It might make you feel bad, but that's another thing that you got to evict from your head. There are a lot of very, very bright individuals, and you probably are one of them, who's been taken in by a narcissist. It's something they have the ability to do, and we should never assume that they're stupid just because they can't learn things very well. Some things they can learn, and that is manipulating other people and tricking them and lying to them and making their lies sound convincing. They know how to do that. So again, no shame on you for that, shame on them. However, it does get into your head, and it's hard. So I'm not suggesting that mind eviction, even in and of itself, is easy to do. You're going to slip back and forth, especially if you've just gotten out of a trauma bond. But it'll get easier as time goes on. Just when the thought occurs to you that doesn't match up with the way you were before, the way you want to be, try to reject it. Evict that narcissist from your head, slowly but surely. Okay, well, if you like this video, please hit like, please subscribe if you haven't done so. Just some button clicks, but it will help get these videos out to more people, and I hope this helped.